I'm gonna buy a water filtration system, and then I'm gonna buy some sort of containment unit that something that doesn't leach, any sort of, chemical runoff onto the water. And then I'm gonna buy a bottle, just kind of like a bottle. You can buy them now. You can go anywhere and buy these on-the-go carry containers that have filters on them, and that's it. That's all you really need. At least that's what's gonna work for me. Now everyone's gonna have to work on their own scenario. Now, granted, I'm not saying get rid of bottled water. Excuse me, but we can't support it as much as we do now. I mean, these guys, these major bottling companies, they come into these small towns and they really don't ask for permission, because there aren't any real laws set up in place to protect these small towns from these major conglomerates. They just kind of show up, and a lot of these towns, like, the rule of, the law is whoever can pump the most water owns the water. So obviously, if you've got a major corporation like Nestle, they could buy a crazy ass mega size pump, and they could set it up on the edge of a river and just start sucking that river dry. And then, guess what? Kind of like Christopher Columbus, they just planted a flag and said, "This is ours." When it truly it belongs to the people of that community. And so then Nestle will sell the water. Nestle won't even bother to give them some sort of a price break on the water. No, they'll sell them the water sell them their own water at full price. What kind of fucking bullshit is that? I mean, I know I made that point a little while ago, but think about this again. I'm gonna break it down. I live in town X. Major corporation shows up to town X. They don't announce themselves. They just send out, there's a couple of little SUVs that drive around. They're scouting around. Nobody's really paying attention to them. They say, "Oh, gee, look at this lake Bibbidi Block. We're gonna tap." They do their water testing. They realize, "Oh, gee, we've got a gold mine right here." So they show up with their big trucks one day. The people in the town see all these big trucks driving on by, and people are like, "Oh, what's going on there?" They don't really pay any mind to them. They go on living their lives. Next thing you know, Town X is paying more on their tap water because it's being tapped by major corporation, and major corporation is also selling them their own tapped water in bottled form, which has been contaminated because of the cheap plastic that they use, and selling it to them at a premium. I don't know about you, it sounds like a load of shit to me. And it needs to stop. It honestly needs to stop. And the best way we stop it is by, becoming independent and stop relying on these bottled water companies for selling us our own water. Like who thinks of that? Like they're selling us something that we already paid for. And I guess I'm at a loss for words when you start putting the pieces of the puzzle together and you look at the picture, it just freaks you out. Switching gears, another documentary that I watched is it's really good. You should check it out. It's called Gasland. And basically what this documentary is about, this guy, he lives in a rural area of Pennsylvania. Now I'm going to chop up the video. I'm not doing it any justice. I really suggest you watch it. It's really good. It's really educational, really, really eye-opening. So this guy lives he grows up in rural Pennsylvania, and he lives next to this river, and he gets a letter in the mail, and it's major corporation gas company, they want to give him a shitload of money to set up a fracking station. Now, for those of you who don't know what fracking is, it's a way of extracting natural gas out of the ground. Now, again, I'm not doing it any justice, but just the kind of quick summary how it works is you set up this, giant contraption. It shoots like a giant tube rod into the ground because these companies have ways of detecting natural gas trapped in the ground. Like literally there's giant pools of natural gas just stuck in the ground. And so, but it's so far down that in order to get this stuff, it's literally trapped in between rock. So these guys have come up with the concept of kind of sticking a long drill into the ground, pumping all these crazy, insane amount of chemicals. And when I mean insane, I mean an astronomically insane amount of chemicals that these motherfuckers is pumping into the ground. And it's not just water, super glue. No. These guys are pumping all kinds of methyl somethings. I can't even pronounce half the shit. And you know, it's like the rule of thumb. If you can't pronounce it, you probably shouldn't be fucking with it. You probably shouldn't be fucking with it. Now, these companies are making hand over fist dollars. They're making buku money. They're making so much money, it's ugly. Like, you gotta make an ugly face to make, to calculate how much money these guys are making. And it's everybody, everyone from the companies that make the chemicals. Now, the question that I ask is, why are there companies just, manufacturing these kinds of poisonous chemicals? How much do you have to pay your employee to manufacture a chemical that's killing them? That in the process of manufacturing the chemical, putting it in a drum, you're slowly contaminating your employee. How much are you paying your employee to do this shit? Now, here's the flip side to here's the real kicker. These guys go into, they're all over the country. There's again, you really got to watch this video. This is gonna really open your eyes. How we're being, slowly poisoned right under our noses. And for those of you who live in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, you should be paying very, very, very close fucking attention to what's going on. I mean, we are being poisoned. Like, I've recently been driving. I was just home, drove around my neighborhood, and I spotted at least 4 installations near my house, within a 25-mile radius near my house. Now, I haven't done a test to see whether or not, the drinking. We've been drinking the water in this, and we haven't gotten sick. But some of these towns, not too far away from where we live at, literally 50 miles away, 60 miles away, which, equates to an hour and a half distance. Some of these people can't drink their own water. And the reason they can't drink their own water is because there's runoff from, their water's contaminated. And watching the video, there's several families that they could actually set their water on fire right out of the faucet. Like, they turn the faucet on, the faucet goes clunk, 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 starts spitting out water. And as it's spitting out water, guy grabs a lighter, pop, 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 boom! The whole kitchen sink is on fire. I don't know about you, but I don't want to drink fire blazing water. Like, I don't want to. And there's countless families that have all kinds of cancer problems, respiratory problems, reproductive problems. Their kids have issues. It's really depressing. It's really depressing that it has to come to this point that we're gonna sacrifice people's lives over profit. Like, we're gonna, like, you know, there's a handful of families that are suffering, slowly dying an agonizing death, but because apparently we need natural gas, you know, it's all good. Now, I'm pretty sure that these major corporations that are doing all this, you know, all these fines, they could develop better ways. I know it's probably going to cost them a lot more money, but I'm pretty sure they could find better ways of extracting this natural gas without poisoning us at the same time. I really do. I promise you, they have. I mean, we are a nation that, quote unquote, when our backs are up against the wall, you know, during times of adversity, we persevere, and we can come up with the idea to, you know, solve complex problems. I'm sorry. Now, our backs aren't up against the wall. This is kind of like we found natural gas, and they came up with a shitty solution to get it out, and a lot of people are making money, and guess what? It works. And I'm here to tell you, it's not right. It's within the next 10 to 15 years, we are going to poison the water supply, and B, we aren't going to be able to afford it. So I honestly think between these two documentaries that I recently saw, I think the new commodity in the future is going to be water. That is going to be the new hustle. It's going to be the new fuel. You know how you go to the gas station, you're paying pretty much $3 for fuel. You're going to be paying about, you know, $4 or $5 a gallon for water, for drinkable water. That's until we actually run out of it. That's when they'll start worrying about, you know, saving the water, and that's when they'll start taxing on it, and it'll be a taxable commodity. And these companies, both, you know, the gas companies and the water bottling companies, I feel like they're in cahoots. I feel like all these major corporations are all in cahoots, even though one doesn't have to do with the other. They mutually benefit from this. One company's poisoning the water, the other one's, you know, selling you clean water at a premium price. So, like, one hand is washing the other hand. Like we hit them high, and then hit them low. Like, that's literally what it looks like. One's hitting us high, the other one's hitting us low. And we need to stop it. We need to stop it, people. I'm telling you. Ways of stopping this. Stop supporting these companies. Stop. Just stop. Find ways. Find alternative ways. I know it's you know, easy for me to say it, and granted, I'm guilty of supporting these fuckers too, but we've got to start coming up with solutions of not supporting these people. You know, we've got to start coming up with solutions of not supporting these people, because we're not going to have a future for our kids. We're not going to have a future for ourselves. Granted, I'm only 30 years old. I mean, I don't know how long I'm going to be on this planet, but, you know, if I'm granted the opportunity of making it to 80 years old, I want to make it. I want to stay on a planet that's clean. I don't want to stay on a planet that's disgusting. I don't want to have to go outside and wear a gas mask and wear a containment suit because, you know, the outside of my neighborhood is polluted. And I don't have to walk around with a water jug because I can't drink the water out of my tap. I mean, it's not right. We need to stop this. All right, I've been going on a rant for a while, so I hope you guys, you know, think about what I talked about today. Please check out these videos. I haven't really done them any justice. I mean, there's way more information in these videos. I just kind of gave you like a quick overview. Again, Tapped, that's the water one, and Gasland, that's obviously the one about the gas. So yeah, please check them out. Leave any comments, any suggestions as far as topics to talk about. Now, I love you guys. Peace.